Hey, what's up, everybody? Back in Tennessee, my kinfolk back home. Just want to get on here and let you know I'm still safe and sound over here in the beautiful Philippines. Uh, Going back home in 10 days, I think. That's when I've got my flight scheduled, so I definitely have to be there for that. You know, don't really know how long I'm going to be back in the States. Hopefully, it won't be too long. You know, I can, I'll see my boys and or at least my youngest one. I don't know about the oldest one. Uh, I'll see him and the rest of my family here pretty quick, and then I will uh, be at the mercy of that attorney, and how quick he can get things done and all that. So I gotta if you stay in the Philippines longer than 6 months as a foreigner on a tourist visa, you have to get what they call an exit visa. You got an exit visa A, which means you're permanently leaving and like not coming back, or you got an exit visa B, and just means temporary. You're just leaving, and then so I got to get exit visa B, and so it's just temporarily. So I was talking to my best friend back home in McMinnville the other day, and I was telling him, he asked me how I loved it or how I liked it out here. I said, man, I don't want to live nowhere else. Like, I mean, they can brag about America all they want, man, but America's not the America that I grew up in. They've weather modifications, everything that they're taking part in is just sickening to me. And to let them know that our government that's supposed to be there to serve the people is not as they're serving their own interests. They're not serving the welfare of the United States citizens, civilians. They don't care. You know, they that's all about continuity of government. Then that's why they built them tunnels. So that just in case they can pick a war that then they can get down in their tunnels while everybody else is having to face you know the music outside. But I mean the way it is, it's just it ain't it ain't the same place that I grew up in. That's for sure. Hello. Yeah, it ain't the same place. So uh, sitting out here this morning, getting me some sunshine, some good old vitamin D. I gotta walk to the butcher shop, get some bacon, some pork belly for breakfast. I'll have bacon egg sandwich. You know what I mean? So yeah, people still amazed to see a white man sitting up here on the porch. It cracks me up, man. I tell you what, though, it's hard for uh, a foreigner to get a ride a lot of times, man. Unless you're with the Filipino. If you're with the Filipino, it's easy. I mean, they'll stop. I've had, me and Jolena be walking to the store, and they'll just stop, ma'am, and you just gotta ignore them. If you don't want to ride, you just ignore them. You don't say nothing to them. You just keep walking, and then they get the hint, and then they. But shoot, man, I tell you, I've just gotten used to, you know, getting ready to walk home. It's like they ain't nobody gonna give me a ride. And that's fine. Because when I get back, the first thing, and I mean the absolute first thing that I'll have before I come back to my apartment is a motorcycle. They put these loud little mufflers, these straight pipes on these dadgum scooters. You know, I mean, like a 125cc scooter got a straight pipe on it. Like I don't know. To me, it don't make sense, but it ain't my bike, so I don't have to. I ain't got to listen to it. and it sure ain't no Harley. You know, if I had to rumble a Harley, okay, you know, you got me. But putting these straight pipes on these freaking half dirt bikes, it's a lot of them 125, man, 150, 125. You don't see no big bikes really. So that's what I plan on getting because I had a 250 Suzuki V-Strom and it was top heavy. To me, it was top heavy. I didn't really like it. It set up a little bit too tall for me. Um, it didn't really have enough power when when you needed it. Going up these mountains. I mean, these mountains, some of them like up Lake Cebu, it gets steep. You know, and I would have to gear all the way down to first gear, man, on a 250. So, and that's just me on it by myself. So, now I'm gonna get a 500. I've done made up my mind. I'm just gonna get a 500, leave it for the long hauls, and then I may get like a Click 160 or something, ADV 160, or get something just for around town, a little automatic, because you don't really need a big bike just to go uh, to KCC Mall or the gym or wherever you want to go. Grocery store. You don't need a big bike. You just need something just put around, man, because everybody else is putting around. So, and there's not stop signs. There's a few stoplights on the main road, but other than that, man, it's a wing and a prayer, buddy. You just pull out there and hoping they're going to stop. And usually they will. I mean, they've been doing this crap long enough. But nighttime, which I don't really get out at nighttime, I'm usually, in. But I have walked to my pharmacy at 8 o'clock at night one time, and no problem. I mean, it's safe, very safe. Everybody's so nice here. Uh, that's what I'm gonna miss, because you go back to America and it's just full of a bunch of, self-centered pricks, you know, narcissists, self-centered pricks, you know, and then that government that I ain't got nothing good to say about them neither. So I guess if you don't have nothing good to say about them, you just don't say nothing. So, but they'll get theirs one day, you know. There's a lot higher power that is in control, and I'm telling you, they get theirs one day. They're real good. They can start a war, but they damn sure ain't learned how to finish one. You know, so uh, but yeah, it's just a richest banker's game. That's all wars are. Bankers are funding Taliban. The bankers are funding America. Bankers are funding Britain. It's all about making them money. Military industrial complex. Oh, Eisenhower was dead on, man, when he said that right in his closing speech about the military industrial complex getting too big, that they would, and what it would cause. He was dead on. He's dead nuts. Lockheed Martin, you know, Raytheon, L3 Harris, Boeing. Uh, you got some big name, you know, uh, big name players. That's it's got technology far beyond what we could ever imagine. They they already got the free energy stuff, man. Everybody. It's just they don't. I guess the big energy companies, the electric companies, uh, all that stuff. They've got too much power, I guess you say, in this world. Too many politicians bought off. So they're not going to get rid of overnight. They're not going to just allow us to have free energy. Oh, that'd be too easy. You know, even though they could have done it a long time ago. So, you know, um, but they chose not to. I mean, it's all about putting a stranglehold on the people, and you know, man gets a $2 raise at work, and then they raised gas up, $2, you know, and then groceries, eggs, something ridiculous. Like I remember when I first come out here, and then I heard about the egg prices in America, and I was thinking, golly, like, are they stupid? But you really got to get out. You need to just get out, get out and travel, man. That's America's not the best country. I don't care what anybody says. Now that I've gotten out, away from that propaganda, the big war machine, the big, you know, uh, money machine, Well, once you get out away from all that crap, and you're not watching them stupid commercials, big pharma commercials every single day, they got a cure for everything, but it could just cause you, herpes and death, and and ain't no telling what else, stomach viruses, and I don't know, it's crazy. And commercials are so stupid, you know. And I think we're the only country that's permitted big pharma to do commercials like that, So the sun's beating down, man. It's so hot here. Like I ain't got no shirt on. I would be sitting here naked if I was out in the Providence. I'll just be honest with you. It's that hot, or at least in my boxers, you know, because it'll burn. It'll burn you. That's for sure. Yeah. So I got to go get an exit visa. I heard it's like 500 pesos, but I'll do another video uh, before I leave, because when I went and renewed my visa back just 2 weeks ago. Uh, they I said, hey, I need to get an exit visa right now. When you leaving? I said the first week, in September, and they're like, have you already got your plane ticket booked? I said no. Oh well, you just come back the week of and show us that you booked a plane ticket. I was like, what? Like, and it's a 2 hour ride to Jinsan, via bus, or even if you had your own motorcycle, it's 2 hours, every bit of it. You might get there a little bit quicker on your own motorcycle, because you can kind of zoom right along. But yeah, so I've got to go back down there next week, show them my plane ticket that I bought, and then get my exit visa, because I've been here over 6 months. I was just gonna fly out, because that's what this guy, in Scotland, this dude I met named John Michael. He's from Scotland, and he comes here every summer because he teaches college over in Scotland. That's what he says, Uh, super nice guy, super nice guy. So he's been coming here every summer for 17 years. So I was like, dang. But he only stays like 3 months, so he don't really have to get one. See, I ended up in the hospital, so I was in the hospital for 2 months, and then my recovery time. Really, my leg is just now getting to where I feel safe to travel, and I'll still have it wrapped up. I mean, it's still got a couple open spots, on the back and on my ankle. I can't get, but hopefully I'm gonna go see a vein doctor when I get there. I'm praying to God he can do something for me, Uh, so I'm gonna go see that, and see what he thinks about this, what this doc did to me out here. Hopefully get me into some kind of, something for the pain. Uh, get that taken care of. And at least I'll be comfortable when I'm back over there getting blasted by all their, you know, cell phone tower radiation. Freaking. I got friends that are over there. I talked to one yesterday, and it's just sickening, man. It is just sickening, the narcissistic way that their frequency. That's the next war, and they're not waiting to use it on Russia or China. No, they're trying to control the people of America, and they're thinking the only way that we can do it is to blast them with this frequency, and it started giving me major headaches. I'm not gonna lie. it started giving me major headache every time and I could tell when I got hit because when they turn it off, I say turn it off. So when they take it off of you, turn it down or whatever they do, uh, man, my head hurts. And I quit drinking like 4 years ago. You know, 5, maybe longer now, maybe 8 years ago. But yeah, I'd say probably 8 years ago. But anyway, man, they would, it'd knock you out. Okay, and then when you come to, your freaking head is pounding like you've been on a vodka drunk or just some cheap dirt whiskey drunk. You know what I mean? And I mean, it was causing me, man, it caused me. I was working for a food ministry down in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, and it cost me that job because uh, they would crank it up at nighttime. Man, I'd wake up, man, my head would just be pounding, just pounding, pounding, pounding. But apparently, when you get on this this illegal targeted thing that they have, they call it a community watch list. But it's basically taking a play out of Hitler's playbook, uh, the Gestapo's, how he right before World War II, how he had had his own people like spying on all their own people and the Jews and just they just took it, and turned it into, they used the 9/11 false flag attacks where they brought the towers down and killed them 3,000 something people under Bush and Dick Cheney. That was all false flag. I mean, I've seen the videos 100 times since the 20 years, and they passed the Patriot Act literally less than 30 days after uh, all this. They passed the Patriot Act, which pretty much give the government more rights than the people, you know. So, it needs to, that Patriot Act needs to be wadded up, burnt, because it's not a patriotic act. When you got a government that thinks that they can turn the people into their guinea pigs, uh, and call it domestic terrorist or domestic whatever, you know. And it's basically turning you into a science project for their frequency bombs, for their, direct energy weapons. Don't think that they don't have it. I mean, they have it. I know. They about burnt my leg off. So I mean, trust me, I know, and they can hit me right here. It's high altitude satellites. They can put them on drones. They can put them on aircraft. You know, I think that's where they're controlling the weather over there in America. I think that's where they're really. It's all these floods, like these crazy floods in Texas and North Carolina and New Mexico, and Arizona, and just ignorant. It's man at its finest of being ignorant. You know what I mean? It's men that think that they can play God. Uh, and I'm telling you, one day they're going to realize that they're not God and that the creator that made the real clouds, the creator that made the heavens and earth, uh, they'll see real quick that they got some explaining to do. Uh, you know, I mean, they built that H bomb and got to drop it over there in they got to drop it over in um, oh Japan. They dropped it over in Japan, and I had to come in here for a second. Man, it's hot. Uh, and they ever since then they just think that they're just the almighty nation. Oh, we got this. Well, these other countries has it too. So, I don't really understand, the logic behind having bombs of mass destruction. But, me, I'm not scared of dying. I'm not scared of government of any sort. Because, the innocent, they got enough innocent blood already on their hands. Like, and it's going to pay. It's going to come back on them one day. It will definitely come back on them. So, I know I'm just rambling on, but it's just a home. It's really the reason why I left America, guys. It's the whole reason. I had to explain this to my youngest son. That for health reasons, like stuff causing me major headaches. Because your brain is not meant to take that kind of frequency, low, intense, directed energy. It's just not made for us to. And then blood clots, something that I've now learned since, I haven't had one blood clot since I've been here. Now, don't get me wrong, they about burnt my leg off, but uh, I, as far as blood clots, no, because the research that I've done is when they hit you with that stuff, the first thing your blood, because it throws off your energy, your natural energy, and they're trying to replace your natural energy with their frequency energy, if that makes sense. And the first thing your blood will do will start coagulating. It will start clotting because it don't know what's going on. It's just trying to protect. Uh, and I didn't realize any of this. I thought, dang, they had me on blood thinners and this and that, and I was thinking, man, but come find out, uh, I didn't even need to be on blood thinners. I just need to be out of freaking America. So if you got a family member out there in America that's, all of a sudden just got, just need to talk to them if they've, all of a sudden just got this thing of blood clots, blood clotting disorder, whatever they want to, however they want to categorize it. But, ask them, are you, you get knocked out? Do you feel like you're real drunk when you wake up and dizzy? And, and it's the frequency. It's the frequency warfare that the U.S. government is using on the people. You know what I mean? And I don't care. It's free speech, so that's why I want to get it out there. But thank God, my headaches has subsided since I've been here. I'm not getting hit after they about burnt my leg off, which was like 2 days before Trump took office. Um, they kind of left me alone. You know what I mean? So I guess that was my going away gift. But I don't care. I really don't care. That's why I dread going back, because where I'm actually going to be staying with my friend, and they're really drilling her pretty hard there. So, but I mean, if I got to go back and endure it, I just got to endure it, hope that, God protects me, but, He can't really protect you against a narcissistic, button pusher that's out in a cave in Colorado Springs, uh, being relayed from a fusion center in Middle Tennessee, uh, saying, "Oh, this guy's, bad news." So pretty much any of the alpha males or any of the true patriots, they want it's the DEI. They want a nation of gays, or a nation of compliant people. I'm not that person. You know what I mean? I'm not taking their orders. I'm not taking the counties, the states, or the federal orders. Nobody's orders. I'll take the good Lord's above's orders, and that's it. And I've read the 10 Commandments. That's what I try to live my life as, and I've forgiven those that's done me wrong. So, and God says, I'll recompense evil for evil. If this ain't evil, what they're doing is not evil. I don't know what would be, So it just took me a long time to figure all this stuff out. But once I did, I realized I need to make a move. I got to, in order to protect my own health, I have to leave America. So, I try to tell you guys about the visas out here. You know, you can stay up to 3 years on a tourist visa. You just got to renew it every 2 months. You know, so when I get back, I'm gonna get my driver's license. I was gonna get it before I left, my Philippine driver's license, but I don't really know how long I'm gonna be gone. As long as I get back, you know, then I can get a Philippine driver's license for 5 years because it's after my birthday. They say something about wait till after your birthday, so it's already past my birthday. So at least when I come back, you know, because when I come out here, guys, I knew zero people. You know, so when you know zero people other than my LDR and her family, I mean, I sort of knew them, you know, via video chat, uh, but I didn't know anybody, and I just came. I came because I had to get away, you know, and that's what I did. So, but I hope y'all have a wonderful, blessed day. You know, I'll definitely make another video, let you know for sure how much the exit visas are. And then whenever I get back, you know, for all my 19 followers, because I had one that fell out because he said I don't answer his uh, question, you know, on his comment, you know, uh, and really I didn't even see it. You know, this is all new to me. I'm really just doing this for my family back home, just basically letting them know, you know, and they'll have proof, you know, they'll have record of you know what I'm speaking of is all the truth. You know what I mean? So, uh, you know, that's another thing. I love YouTube. You know, I love watching YouTube. I watched vloggers for 4 years before I came here, so it was very beneficial to me. So I'm hoping to bring that back to the world whenever I get back, and then I'm gonna show y'all around my hometown whenever uh, you know I'm back in Tennessee. So y'all have a blessed day, and you know, go out and make somebody smile. You know, even if you're having a worst day and you're living in America and everything seems like it's down, know that the good Lord's still on the throne. Know that He loves us. All we have to do is repent to be forgiven. Believe in your heart that He is our true Savior, and now I see it more than ever that we need a Savior. You know, so y'all have a wonderful day, and I will see y'all later. All right. Bye, y'all.